And now for some cowboy wisdom. Donald Trump has bragged that he is his own political strategist and he don't need anybody other than himself to plan and execute his campaign. After he got thumped in Wisconsin, he seems to have rethought his strategy of hiring second-rate talent and having former contestants of The Apprentice, like the obnoxious Omarosa, as surrogates on cable news. He's also realizing that it's not just about winning primaries or caucuses. It is about compiling delegates and making sure those delegates are loyal to you beyond the first ballot. To that end, he has hired Paul Manafort, a true Washington insider whose career goes all the way back to the last contested GOP convention in Kansas City in 1976, when he helped Gerald Ford edge out Ronald Reagan for the nomination. He has been a political consultant and lobbyist, counting among his clients Ukrainian oligarchs, former Philippine dictator Ferdinand Marcos, as well as corporate giants Verizon and Lockheed Martin. He also lobbied for the Trump Organization on gaming issues a few years ago. In 1989, he was hauled before a congressional committee that was investigating widespread corruption at the Department of Housing and Urban Development. He was involved in a scheme to get taxpayer funds steered to a controversial housing project in New Jersey. At the hearing, Manafort described himself as an influence peddler. Quote, "You might call it influence peddling. I call it lobbying," unquote. Well, at least he was honest about his profession. Manafort finagled $31 million from the bumbling bureaucrats at HUD to finance his 326-unit project that the local New Jersey officials said they didn't want or need. His firm was paid $326,000 for their services, or a nice $1,000 per unit. But Manafort also had a one-third stake in the project. Isn't this the kind of crony capitalism and, dare we say, influence peddling that Trump decries at every turn? How is he going to explain to his loyal followers that he is hiring the same corrupt Washington establishment types they hate? It should come as no surprise that Trump is already breaking his promises to his trusting supporters. Pretty soon, he will announce that he's going to start raising money from the K Street crowd and courting the donor class, because I guarantee you that Manafort didn't come out of semi-retirement just to babysit delegates until the convention in Cleveland. All this cattle crap about self-funding and that he can't be bought was malarkey when Trump first said it, and it's still malarkey. Thus far, Trump has spent very little on his campaign, having been aided and abetted by all the free media he has received, especially from his loyal courtiers on Fox News, Bill O'Reilly, Greta Van Susteren, and the future winner of the lapdog category at the Westminster Dog Show, Sean Hannity. But he has never taken the time or been willing to spend the kind of money it takes to build a real, durable campaign structure, staffed with folks who know what the hell they're doing. Those days are over, and if he really wants to win, he will have to open his wallet and commit real money, or go hat in hand to the big donors he has ridiculed and insulted for the last year. Don't be surprised if they choose to spend their money elsewhere. And loaning his campaign a few million here and a few million there won't cut it. Oh, and for his followers who have sent him money, he'll be using your hard-earned dollars to pay himself back for the money he has already loaned his campaign. The two central truths of Trump's big hat, no cattle campaign are about to be exposed. First, he isn't the outsider he claims, as evidenced by his hiring of Paul Manafort, the ultimate Washington insider. And second, he will not self-fund the campaign. For anyone who actually thinks Donald Trump will write a check for the $1 or so this campaign will require, you're being snookered like all the Trump University alumni. So here's your cowboy wisdom. Quote, "There are three kinds of men: the ones that learn by reading, the few who learn by observation, the rest of them have to pee on an electric fence and find out for themselves," unquote. The Wisconsin primary was Trump's electric fence, and he got a good shock when he peed on it, and by extension, their very popular governor, Scott Walker. The question is, will he start reading and observing so he can learn, or will he continue to pee on electric fences? You better steer clear of any more of those kind of fences, since the campaign gets tighter, the voltage on the fences gets higher.